Thank you, Les Kierlich, and welcome, Minister Fitzgerald, and welcome to your officials as well. You have been resolute, diligent, and swift in drafting the legislative provisions to implement the will of the Irish people when they said yes to marriage equality on the 22nd of May, 2015. You are leading its passage through the houses of the Oireachtas with a welcome pace, one that suits the scale and emotional depth of the people's vote. Thank you, Minister. Thank you. And welcome to our marriage equality champions in the Shannon Public Gallery. I think some are in the AV room as well, and those who are watching online. Welcome to my beloved life partner of 33 years, my spouse, wife of 12 years, Dr. Anne-Louise Gilligan. Welcome to the leaders of marriage equality, of Glenn, of ICCL, the USI, NXF, LGBT Noise, Belong To, TENI, Amnesty, and to the national family of Yes Equality. I think some are here from Mayo. Together, we have made this freedom law possible. Minister, I want to begin by paraphrasing a line from William Butler Yeats, because this is something of how I feel today. Change comes dropping slow. When Anne-Louise and I first imagined this change we speak of today, over 13 years ago, a change for ourselves and for other LGBT people, for Ireland, we never thought it would take this long. But our work now is almost completed, and we have learned so many things in this length of time and the dropping slow of change. Though philosophically speaking, and I'm not the first to mention philosophy, you mentioned it as well, Minister. Though philosophically speaking, change is the essence of reality. It is the politics of change that throws up the contestations, the conflicts, the resistance, and the prison of prejudice that must be overcome to unleash freedom for an oppressed minority. And it is the politics of change, driven successfully by so many equality champions over the past decade, that laid the fertile soil for the people to take up our cause, to stand with us, to tell their stories, to open their hearts, to listen to our stories, and to open their minds to a new way of being human in Ireland. Before the vote, I often said, it is the Irish people who will have the power to banish inequality between a majority and a minority, and that such an opportunity doesn't come often in a lifetime. So how did the people rise up for this? The politics of change became personal, especially for the young. The personal is political, as the elders know. The building of the national family of Yes Equality, reaching out to every constituency in our republic and sparking the extraordinary phenomena of #HomeToVote travelers, crossed the generational, cultural, and class divides to create an experience of solidarity, the likes of which many have never felt or witnessed before. And it is this solidarity that created such pure joy on the 23rd of May. And it is this solidarity and joy that became visible throughout the globe. So I want to pay tribute, not unlike my other colleagues here now, to every person who knocked on doors, to every person who told their story, to every person who went on the local and national airwaves, to all who gathered for the fundraisers, to those who wrote the checks, to the politicians, our great colleagues in the Dáil, those of us here, especially Senator Norris, and I might add, of course, Senator Bacik, to the political parties, to the independents, to our Taoiseach and our ministers, to the mothers and fathers, to the children of LGBT people, to the trans people, young and old, who said, you must include us too, to the Queen of Ireland, To the artists for yes, the mayors for yes, the unions for yes, the children's organizations for yes, the lawyers for yes, the women's for yes, the business for yes, and all the other folks for yes who engage in a political revolution 21st century style. I want to pay special tribute to the Dublin Southwest Yes Equality team that I led with Dara Janaki. I want to thank you for every night you went out, every door you knocked on, every conversation you had, especially the difficult ones, and every time you bore witness to the cause of freedom of LGBT people. And after the count in City West, and after we opened all the boxes, we witnessed our results together that 71.3% of Dublin Southwest said yes, and that indeed tallies demonstrated that some areas of Dublin Southwest showed massive support for marriage equality, with some parts of Jobestown and Killinarden voting 85% yes, areas in Fetterkern voting 88% yes, parts of Ballyrowan voting 82% yes, and the states of Rathfarnham 80%. These results, and those throughout the country, happened because of the generosity of the Irish people, because of the steadfastness of all those who participated in this revolution, and also because of the intelligence of the Yes Equality strategies to engage our citizens in the political process, all of whom know now that with citizen engagement, deep and fundamental change is possible. And so it is that another prime legacy of the marriage equality referendum is the experience of our people, especially our young people, that if you care about a cause, that if you see things that should change, that you want to change, that you will know that change is possible. This can only be a good thing for our republic, especially as we approach the year of 2016, and Senator O'Brien has already referred to that. So, Minister, we have before us now the bill that will enact equality and freedom for LGBT people, and it puts in place the legislative provisions to enable couples to marry without distinction as to their sex. And I look forward to teasing out the detail of the implications of these provisions in the committee and report stages of our Shannon deliberations. Minister, we also have a bill before us that, when placed on the Irish statute books, will carry the memory that citizens collaborating together can bring about fundamental change. Indeed, can enable a cultural seismic shift for the good. May the memory that this law embodies provide an ongoing touchstone for our citizens to imagine other change that is necessary to bring about a republic of equals for all. So to conclude, I believe that the days of the 22nd and the 23rd of May 2015 will go down in history as some of the greatest demonstrations for freedom in the history of our nation. And when the Shannon passes this bill, and when President Michael D. Higgins signs it, and when our two women ministers, Minister Fitzgerald and our Taoiseach Joan Burton, agree when it shall be commenced, then we will be able to say, free at last, free at last. Thank God, we are free at last.
Senator Batchik.
Well, follow that, I think, Senator Zappone. I was hoping I wouldn't be speaking after you.